Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to our webinar for In Cosmetics Global. Leading this webinar is Martina Islip, who's Global Product Manager of Functionals at Simrise. She'll be presenting a 360-degree approach to optimize sunscreen formulations. Before we begin, I'd like to add that there won't be any time for Q&A, as it's just a teaser. But if you have any burning questions, please feel free to submit them through the chat feature. And please also leave feedback, as it will help improve our future webinar. So without further ado, I'll now pass you over to Martina.
Hello, all people out there. Thank you for attending the webinar. I would like to talk about Effect Sun, our 360-degree approach to achieve optimized sunscreen formulations. But what is the challenge formulating up-to-date sunscreen formulations? I think every formulator has the same challenges formulating today. The increasing demands for high SPF leads to higher oil contents in formulations. We need more electrolytes and pigments, which may eventually destabilize emulsions. High oil contents affect skin feel and the texture and hinder also the formulation of light and dry products. UV filters do not always reach their full protection capacity due to a lack in film forming and also in uneven droplet distribution. And of course, the need for higher emulsifier concentrations to achieve stable emulsions can negatively influence the water resistance of sunscreen emulsions. But also film-forming products promising to retain water resistance often lead to a tacky or dull sensation on skin, which may eventually decrease the consumer acceptance. And in the end, the desire for more naturalness in cosmetics demands for ingredients able to replace microplastics and synthetic or silicon-based ingredients. So a bunch of different raw materials is usually needed to satisfy every single requirement. So-called SPF booster, film formers, and co-emulsifiers are typical candidates. So this picture now illustrates our 360-degree approach of Effect Sun to all these challenges I mentioned before. Effect Sun is unique in its natural and holistic approach to the multiple challenges of modern sunscreen emulsions. In vivo studies show that we have increased SPF and water resistance in different basic sunscreen formulations. Effect Sun contributes to the emulsion stability and makes so co-emulsifiers obsolete. It provides gentle film forming in formulations without having a negative effect on the skin feel. Effect Sun is also based on 100% renewable raw materials and thus enables the next step towards a higher degree of sustainability and naturalness in sun protection cosmetics. And to make the 360-degree approach complete, Effect Sun imparts a pleasant skin feel without tackiness and thus helps to achieve a higher consumer acceptance for the sunscreen product. But what is Effect Sun? We are talking here about a synergistic blend made of natural beeswax and a natural derived anionic lactic acid ester. The inky is Sera alba and sodium stearoylactylate. It is easy to handle due to its convenient pelletized form and can be incorporated in emulsions via the oil phase. Effect Sun can be heated up to temperatures commonly used in preparing cosmetic emulsions and enabled to work not only in hot emulsification but also in hot-cold processes, where it's only necessary to heat the oil phase, but not the water phase. We are now take a closer look to the performance details of SimEffect Sun. The protection performance of a sunscreen product is of course influenced by the combination of UV filters used in a product, but also by the basis formulation, for example, the used emulsifier system, the thickeners, other ingredients like actives which may destabilize the final formulation. And all these parameters have an effect on the final in vivo SPF. In several emulsions using different formulation bases, different sunscreen filter combinations, and varying amounts of SimEffect Sun, we were able to show that SimEffect Sun increases the in vivo SPF versus the placebo formulation up to 27%. Our tests were conducted following the ISO norm 24444 for in vivo SPF determination. So we proved that SimEffect Sun has a beneficial effect on the in vivo SPF of cosmetic sunscreen emulsions. But SimEffect Sun can do other things also. Coming to the formulation stability, with a look on the picture on the right side of the emulsion with 2% of SimEffect Sun, this shows that we have a more even and regular distribution of droplets versus the placebo formulation on the left side. And this indicates that we have a more stable formulation with SimEffect Sun. The use of co-emulsifiers are obsolete using SimEffect Sun, which was demonstrated on a formulation with 2% water-soluble sunscreen filters. Without SimEffect Sun, the formulation was unstable at elevated temperatures, while with SimEffect Sun, it was all stable over a period of 3 months. SimEffect Sun has only a minor impact on the viscosity of a fluid formulation base, even in increased amounts. We tested here up to 4% of SimEffect Sun. So we can prove that SimEffect Sun is suitable for low viscous systems as well as creams and lotions. Regarding the influence on the water resistance of SimEffect Sun. Especially sunscreen emulsions containing water-soluble sunscreen filters faces often difficulties when it comes to water resistance. With SimEffect Sun, the water resistance of an emulsion using 2% of a water-soluble UV filter was nearly 90%. And more than 20% higher than the placebo formulation. And this was proven in vivo, also following the ISO norm and the COLIPA guidelines. The effect on film forming. Without SimEffect Sun, the film on the glass slide shows an inhomogeneous surface with droplet formation. This is the picture on the left side. And this indicates that with SimEffect Sun, SimEffect Sun provides a gentle film forming, which results in a homogeneous distribution of water and oil phase, also while drying. Effect Sun is a unique, natural and holistic approach in sunscreen formulation. It is based on 100% renewable raw materials and thus offers a sustainable alternative to synthetic and silicon-based film-forming and SPF-enhancing raw materials. It reduces the overall content of emulsifiers and provides a contemporary skin feel with almost no tag and low oiliness in sunscreen emulsions. Thus, it enables the next step towards a higher degree of naturalness in sun protection cosmetics. Consumer acceptance is indispensable for a successful protection product. One of the most important parameters is its sensorial performance, or in short, its skin feel. The expectation is a light and dry skin feel even for high SPF products. Providing only gentle film forming and formulations, SymEffect Sun shows no tacky or dull sensation on skin typically caused by film forming products and can narrow the negative effects on the skin feel of high amounts of UV filters and pigments. A trained test panel compared the sensorial profile of a sunscreen emulsion using 2% of SymEffect Sun compared to a formulation using the same amount of silicon-derived film formers instead. The panel attests that both emulsions have no significant deviations to each other, so SymEffect Sun is able to provide a skin feel which is at least comparable to a silicon-derived film former. Here we have the benefits of SymEffect Sun as a summary. SymEffect Sun is a 100% natural derived multifunctional ingredient. It enhances the efficiency of used UV filters, improves the water resistance and the formulation stability, and has also a beneficial impact on the skin feel. In our ID card, we give an overview of on all the main points important for SymEffect Sun. SymEffect Sun is our 360-degree approach designed for sun care products to overcome all the multiple challenges which we discussed in this presentation. And it's derived of 100% natural ingredients, providing a natural origin content of 100%, and it's also globally compliant, so there's no restriction for the use all over the world. And additionally, there's a patent pending on the use of SymEffect Sun from Symrise. So now I am at the end of my presentation and would like to thank you for your attention and hope that you get the most of the presentation and that I could interest you for our products. Thank you.
Great. Well, that rounds up our webinar, and yeah, I hope that's given you enough of a teaser to attend the main show. I'd like to thank Martina and Symrise for hosting. You can catch them, of course, at in Cosmetics Global this year, and we hope to see everyone there. This webinar, like all the other webinars, will be available to view again on demand, so do feel free to visit the channel again. We have 2 more webinars coming up this afternoon, one from our workshop and the other from our conference speakers. So do tune in. Full details of tomorrow's webinars are on the website as well, incosmetics.com/global. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in and take care.